Welcome everybody. I'm your host. I'm Johnell. I'm with my guy Matt Price, Cash Walking, and for Thanksgiving Eve we have a special guest, Money Bags Alcide, Sean Alcide. How you doing, my guy? How you feeling, bro?
Just so y'all know, I'm gonna pull up this clip and I'm gonna edit it with the Undertaker music coming because Cash, you in trouble. I'm done. The Undertaker is
Oh,
back.
me?
It's been too sweet
Oh.
up here. It's been too sweet up
Good luck, buddy. Good luck, buddy. You said sweet what? I'm drinking brown
here.
water. I'm about to scream on
This
Bro,
you.
dude's
this
getting drunk in the back. When did,
I'm about to scream on
when
you.
did this turn into drink champs with Noriega? What's going on?
Cause I put it in today. Cause I knew you was
bro,
coming.
bro. How many drinks in are you already?
Nah. Listen, I usually have just a glass of wine,
Nah, I know.
but today I said, nah, I need Jack Henny today. Sean coming on the show. He gonna try and disrespect me, and I'm not letting it happen today. In the name
Oh
of
no.
Jesus.
Yeah.
So let's jump into it. Happy Thanksgiving Eve, everybody.
Yes.
Yeah, we wanted to bring in Sean, just like a little holiday special, get a different point of view, different perspective on everything. Um, the first thing I want to get into, we do talk basketball, mainly the NBA, but we do talk about things just going on in life, in the culture. And we got a surprise album from Mr. Kendrick Lamar, G and X, released last week at like noon on
It was
Friday
9
last
a.m.
week or whatever it was. Yeah.
Very bizarre.
Um,
On brand
First
for Kendrick, though.
initial reaction from the two of you guys. What were your thoughts when you heard about the drop, and then once you were able to get through the album? Did you like it? Did you dislike it? Do you think Kendrick is just on some demon timing and is really trying to just put a boot on Drake's neck at this point?
You want to go, Sean? You want to start it off?
Yeah, why not?
Yeah, go ahead. Start it off.
When
Let the guest begin.
when we first got wind of it, it was trending within the minute. So I already knew Drake was in trouble. Once I saw, because
Mm.
everyone wasn't even sure that he dropped an album or if it was a single. Twitter was just saying, "Yo, Kendrick dropped an album," like with a lot of question marks. Like, is this the album? Is this just like a
Yeah.
teaser? And I'm thinking, okay, maybe he
Yeah.
dropped like a teaser or something. And then I went on Apple Music and there's like 13 songs. I'm like, oh my god.
Yeah.
And-
This is
Right.
real.
And before I even got to listen to it, Gene and Janelle and I, we were talking in our grouper. It was like Twitter was already telling us this is the greatest thing ever. And before we even got a chance to listen to it, I'm like, oh man, Drake's really in trouble. If people are feeling it, usually, you need a couple listens. First listen, people are already
Yeah.
quoting lyrics. I'm hearing whack. I don't even know. Again, I haven't even listened to it to this point, so I don't even know what the reference is. I'm hearing mustard. I'm like, what are they talking about? Like, what is that? I'm like, and
So, took over
it
the
took over
internet.
the internet, and then I was like, I needed to be in the car. I don't like to listen to albums for the first time in the house
Same
because
here.
distraction, kids, family, just work during the day. I was like, I need to be on a long drive, so I listened to it for the first time. I'm driving to the Bronx, and dog, on the first listen, I was like, yo, this is hard. Like, and again, like for me, I'm usually like one of those listeners that I need to run it back two, three times to really feel it.
Facts.
We knew Squabble Up already because he teased it on the video, but not like
Yeah.
us. So that wasn't surprising for me. Again, we talked about this in our fantasy chat. The one that really first like hit me, besides Whacked Out Mirrors, because it's the first song, and he was talking about Wheezy and all this other stuff, which was dope. Man at the Garden, dog. That's the first song that
Oh,
I
yeah.
ran back like five times before I moved on.
Recognized it right
Right
away. Yeah.
away. And again,
I was like, oh, I know this beat.
One mic. It was one mic. It was
Yeah.
Nas
I was
Classic.
like, oh, I know this beat.
phenomenal,
Yeah.
phenomenal
Classic.
line. Very simple. Again, it's a very mirror image
Everything's great on that
of
song.
Nas's song, and just what he was talking about on there was just real, like real talk, like and all this other stuff about how he came into this joint and what his purpose is and the things that he cares about. He's not very much for the artificial stuff, and I was just like, yo, this is great. And then I just kept listening to the album. it's a very good album, bro. And the thing is, the part that's very scary for Drake is I'm hearing this is not the Super Bowl album. Like we're getting another
Yeah,
one
Yeah, hearing the same.
before.
yeah. There's more
So
coming.
this is
Like he's been working.
dog. It's Kendrick. Like I don't know if some way academics might spin this. I'm sure he'll spin it like this. This might Kendrick might be responsible for where I mean Drake might be responsible for where Kendrick's career ends up at this point because I feel like the rest of his career is going
Yeah,
to be
That's
dedicated
fair.
to beating on Drake and like proving to him
yeah,
drop a lot. I just choose not to. But if you want to be out, you want me to be outside. Now we both outside, and people ain't checking for you. They checking for me
yeah,
because I'm kicking your butt. This could be this could be ugly, bro. For I'm pretty sure we'll get that to that point later on in the conversation. But I thought the album was really good. I liked it a lot, and I'm usually one to be very critical of
yeah,
like people overhyping, Kendrick's, records because I feel like a lot of it just be sometimes we like Kenny. People, he's a very likable dude. Whatever he drops, we say, "Oh, this is the greatest thing in the world," because he's talking about things that the artists that are out are not always talking about. But I thought like it was really dope. He had a good mix of like, dancey records, Squabble Up, the
yeah,
Evie, and
Yep.
I
yeah.
mean, the LA joint, the Dodger Blue joint, real smooth, real LA, real
Woo!
cruising down the
That's
Yes.
my joint.
joint.
Yes.
That
Step,
was,
step
it's
to it.
I
Everything.
love the album. I've been listening to it every day. I
Yeah,
love it. So that's my two
Yep.
cents on it.
And
yeah,
Cash, I'll let you get into it, but yeah,
yeah,
it
yeah,
felt like just kind of piggybacking off of what Sean was saying. Um, it almost feels like that, Drake, that famous Drake line, "Oh, this is what I got to do to make y'all rap."
Hmm.
Kendrick hates Drake.
Hmm.
So, like,
hates him.
yes, this is what Drake did to get Kendrick to rap. And not only are we getting bars from Kendrick like, "Bro, I hate you. I hate them. I hate whoever is rocking with you,
Anybody around you.
anybody around you," but also we're getting the squabble ups. We're getting like these
Yeah.
dance tracks that not like
He's
us
beating him at his own
where
game.
That's it.
He's
where
beating
we
him at his own
It's just
game right now. The
we weren't
internet, these catchy records. Yeah.
yeah, we weren't getting like dance pop records from
no.
Kendrick. And
No.
now he's giving us
Radio
that like
records, Kendrick didn't care for.
haymakers. Bro,
Yeah.
yeah. So this is
That's
this
the
is
thing.
this is fueled by a hatred of Drake. And I feel like the music is a byproduct, and I'm not mad about it, honestly.
Yeah. I'm not. Like, I'm loving it. It pulled something out of Kendrick for sure. The one thing I'll say, or not one thing, but the first thing I'll say about the album is that I love is the balance. I love the balance of it all. Shaw, you referenced that. Like, yo, you got your squabble up, so you're like, it's a dance record, but when you listen to the lyrics, like Kendrick is really special in that, right? That he has always been able to be like somehow intellectual, even on these crazy beats. Like even on Not Like Us, like he still threw that last verse in there.
It's
And it was like, you know what I'm saying? Atlanta was a mecca, bringing railroads and chains. Bear with me for a second. Let me put y'all on game. Like he's he's always been able to balance it out, and I think that's what people love about him like the most right away. The album, like you spoke about like certain songs. It's the first one since Damn, because I had Mr. Morale I liked, but there was like a couple skippers on there. There was a couple
It was
that
a
I'm
lot.
like,
It was a
depending on the
lot. It
day,
was a lot. We can be honest. It was
yeah.
a lot of
I
skipping.
get
Depending
you.
on the day, I'm not gonna like stop. Like he's over here screaming at his girl on one of these songs, and like they're screaming at each other. Like I got that in my life all the time, so I don't need to hear that in the song. Like I want to hear some good
Right.
stuff. You know what I mean? So listen, listen. This is what I'm saying. Like this is the first one since Damn that it's like you could just run it through, start to
Mhm.
finish. Whacked out murals. That's like my morning coffee right now, yo. Like since that song came out, it's like my morning coffee. It gets me so hyped. The beats, the beat about it, the lyrics, like the tone that he's taking, like every single part of that song, I absolutely love. And then he gets into Squabble Up, and you're like, okay, he's dancing now, and he kind of takes you on a ride. Then he gets to Luther, and you're like, oh, SZA on here, okay, now he's taking one for the ladies, okay, and then he just goes absolutely insane after that. It's like reincarnated after that, and you're like, yo. Wow. Then it's like Man in the Garden. I'm like, oh my God. Like he's hitting you with those are like five songs in a row. And I'm like, these are five completely different songs, completely
All
different
fire.
topics, completely different everything. Yeah, it's just so fire. So I love that part about it. he's on a warpath right now. Like he's letting everybody know that like, look, don't even come for
Yeah.
me. Like, don't even come for me. I think that's what his message was to Wayne. Like, you want to congratulate me, fine. Like, whatever, but just don't even think
Before we
about it.
toss
Like,
it to,
he's telling everybody
before we
else.
toss it to
He's
Janelle,
telling everybody else, like, you don't
before we
want it.
toss it to Janelle,
What happened?
before we toss it to Janelle, there was something that you said that reminded me, and I was listening to it. The reincarnated record in particular. He's so petty. Like we thought Drake was petty. Kendrick's petty level is way past Drake's. He's so petty
Yeah,
that on the like he specifically made the reincarnated record because he was like, Drake, you used AI to mock me with Tupac. He's like, I'm gonna show you how you should have done it. He does
yeah.
a
That's how you
song
should have did it.
that he samples from Pac, the from the Pac record,
Yep.
raps exactly like Pac. The voice is even giving Pac. Like I thought I was listening to Tupac, listening to that reincarnated record.
Yeah,
I'm like,
Yeah.
he's like, and then the
yeah.
song is fire. And he's like, everyone's gonna get behind
Fire.
it.
That's my favorite
It's
song.
it's it's incredible. I'm like, yo, he's playing a mind game at a
Yeah,
different level right now, and he's. And I was talking to somebody on Twitter today. I feel like Drake could have he could compete with Kendrick like as an artist. Drake is like that. His
yeah.
problem was
Yeah.
he was on a different type of timing for Meek. Like for Meek, he was like,
I think so.
Meek was
Yeah,
the aggressor, and Meek is like, I'll shoot you. Like that was the gangster rapper, and Drake was like, I got to take this serious.
yeah,
I don't think he took Kendrick serious because he kept taking him
yeah. I
on.
don't think
Like he
so.
wouldn't come outside, and because Kenny hadn't been outside.
Yeah,
So I think his problem was his
yeah,
mistake was he didn't think Kendrick could do this, and I think Kendrick is like, I'm gonna show
yeah.
you I could do this. I'm gonna show you how
I'll
long I
show
could
you. I
do
could
this,
do
and
it.
I'm gonna do you better than you.
Yeah,
I'm gonna put out these hit records, and I'm gonna mix all my that in, and I'm gonna completely yo. There's like we have restaurant chains tweeting must like everybody got a mustard right now.
yeah.
Everybody.
Every
Everybody,
company
everybody.
from corporate America to freaking NBA
Yeah,
teams to
yeah,
NHL teams to restaurants has a
yeah.
mustard meme.
What?
It's
The,
insane.
the Eagles win on the Eagles win on Sunday night in LA, and they freaking put up Saquon like screaming, "Look
Yeah.
what's that!" Like yo,
Yes.
everybody's on it. Everybody's on it. Like they're even using it to like they're using it for
Yeah.
everything. They're using it for everything. Um, my favorite, like really my favorite part about it though, is how regional it sounds. That's the old school feel
Mhm.
to me. It's a very West Coast,
West Coast album.
LA sounding album that
Mhm.
like I miss that in music.
Right.
Like there's something about like some people are like upset. They're like, oh, it sounds too West Coast, and I've been reading that a little bit on Twitter. Like, nah, I want a West Coast artist to sound like West Coast. The hip hop is missing that. Like the South is really the only place that has their own sound right
Mhm.
now. Like the West Coast, even the West Coast dudes are doing down south beats. Like everybody's getting on the production style that Atlanta brought to the forefront in Memphis and these places down
Mhm.
south. Like 3 6 Mafia and all these other producers, all these producers that were producing for Outkast and for Lil Jon, all that style of production is what is being used today from everybody, even in New York. Like that's why you see there is no New York artist right now that's gonna drop and have the impact. Like ASAP Rocky's got an album coming out. He dropped at the same time as Kendrick, early in like what 2011, 2012. That's when their mixtapes
Yeah.
were coming out. They were in the same freshman class for
Yeah.
Double XL. Their albums are not going to have the same impact. And this guy's married to Rihanna. You know what I'm saying? It's not like nobody knows who he is. It's that Kendrick's music is going to just have that impact, and he's got that sound. So that's like, I'll end off with that. Like, that's my favorite thing about the album. He's getting local guys on the songs, guys that a lot of us have never heard of before. Like, outside of SZA, and Roddy Rich, I didn't know a single other feature on that thing. Not even one. I read all the features. I'm like, I don't know who this is. I don't know who Siete Seven is, but he's spitting up
Mhm.
here. I don't know who Woo Woo Dot Dot. I don't know who like all these guys. Like these are real gangsters, I'm
Mhm.
sure. And I don't want no disrespect, but like I don't know who y'all was, but y'all spitting, man. Like I love it, and that's why I know something else is coming. Like he's not gonna bring these guys out for the Super Bowl, but they're gonna get their spot. Like he might bring them out. I don't know. I don't think he's gonna, but there's got to be more music coming. He's just setting up
Yeah.
right now. I feel like
So
December's coming. We're 2 months out, 2.5 months out for the Super Bowl. He's laying the groundwork right now.
so that's a good segue regarding the Super Bowl. we got word from Joe Budden, who says that it sounds like Lil Wayne tried to reach out to Kendrick, didn't get a response, and allegedly, reportedly, Lil Wayne got in the booth, and it sounds like he might have some bars for Kendrick. Real quick, and we can move off this. Sean, I'll start with you. Should Lil Wayne do this? Should he throw his hat in the ring? Should he give Kendrick bars or no?
Lil Wayne needs to go to rehab, bro. Like we don't we do not want to stay out of it, bro. It's not it one he didn't diss you. You like I feel like yo,
He didn't this time.
it's crazy because
Wasn't
I
a
feel
diss.
like Lil
It
Wayne,
wasn't a diss at
like
all.
there's certain points where you get to where it's like everyone is carrying Lil Wayne's torch and his legacy, especially recently.
Yeah,
Like I'm hearing,
absolutely.
especially like with the whole Kendrick thing. I'm hearing like, oh, Lil Wayne's top five all time. Like, let it sit there, bro. Don't jump back into hip hop with a young beast. This is like MJ coming out of retirement right now to
Trying to challenge
to
LeBron.
or like to try to guard Ja, meet
Nah,
Ja
not
at the
LeBron.
rim.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
it's not
Yeah,
going to work out for you well. Like, let we know who you are, Weezy. We know you're like critical or not, we know what your body is. We know what your body of work is, and we think you're arguably a top five rapper of all time. Don't try
yeah.
to jump in the ring with this young guy who's in his peak right now, just because
I
Humble.
mean, he's an absolute
and especially
apex.
when it's
Absolute
not even to
apex
that
right now.
point. It's not even like there's no beef. Like he said, he was disappointed that you weren't happy for him. He moved on. That's it. He didn't mention
Yeah,
you in the
which is,
album again. Like, and we know if Kendrick
yeah,
wanted to,
never said it.
he could have taken it there clearly. Like, no, I
Yeah.
don't. Nobody.
The thing about it is like,
Like,
yo, Wayne gotta chill because like, yo, there was how many there since in his career as a recognized artist, we're talking 25 years now for Wayne, maybe maybe even a little longer. There have been like three or four Super Bowls, or something like three Super Bowls in New Orleans at that time. He could have been the headliner of each and every one of them. He's been a huge artist for a long time, making hit records. Listen, if the time wasn't then and the time is not now, I just saw him in October at Mohegan. Dog, he not the same Lil Wayne no more. You understand me? Like he not the same one.
it's and
He
there's
not the
nothing
same
wrong with
one. He
that.
don't got the breath. He don't got the energy. He don't got the thing. And that's fine. He's not a
Right,
young man
right.
anymore. But but Kendrick, I'm excited for Kendrick. Like Kendrick gonna kill this. Like I know he's gonna have great visuals, great everything because he always does. He's at the peak of his game right now. Wayne, I understand where he's coming from. It was like, and then I understand where even everybody's saying like, oh, it was a layup. Just give it to Wayne. Like Wayne hasn't dropped the album in 2 years. Wayne hasn't like, you know what I mean? Like all these things. He's not even working on an album. He's kind of just scattering in features everywhere. Like he's in a different point in his career than Kendrick is, which is when they give a lot of people these Super Bowl highlights, like where you're like not as or you're not necessarily like like in your start, like at your career, but you're not done either. You're in your prime. That's when they give you to these things. To my knowledge, like Prince is the only one I've ever seen like after his like prime to be the Super Bowl halftime show. Like he's the only one who was like pretty much done. I mean, he was making music, but he wasn't like he was 20 something years removed
Yeah.
from recording
Also,
like hit records and stuff.
yeah. Also, different scenario. He's a singer, not a rapper.
Exactly.
He's
Yeah,
also considered one of, if not
he's
the
also
greatest
Prince.
musician of all time. So
Yeah,
yeah,
exactly. So
different
yeah,
scenario.
yeah,
Yeah,
for
I'm
sure.
not. I'm happy. I think it's going to be a really dope show. I also think Lil Wayne needs to sit this one out. This isn't your fight.
Please,
Let if
yeah.
Drake wants to get back
Let
into it,
Aubrey
let
deal with
Drake
this.
do it.
Yeah,
But yeah, Lil
let Aubrey
Wayne,
handle
sit
all
down,
this.
sit this one out. Let's jump into the NBA. We got some news earlier in the week. All Star Game. The NBA, Adam Silver, trying desperately to figure out the All Star Game, and All Star Weekend in general wasn't discussed, but I have some issues with like the skills competition as well. But the actual All Star Game, they consulted with Steph Curry. Hey, what can we do to spice this thing up since it is out in Golden State or in San Francisco this year? Um, what they're discussing currently is a tournament style format in which there's 4 teams of 8 players. and one of those teams will be comprised of players from the Rising Stars Challenge or game, and they'll play in a bracket and come up with a winner that way.
Okay.
What do you guys think? Like at this,
I hate.
honestly, at this point, I feel like we need to do without the All Star game because the players don't care. So why
Yeah.
should I? But
Yeah. I hate it.
is this option viable? Is it something that you'd be interested in seeing? Price, you started
No.
off.
No. No. I
Okay,
hate
so
it.
no.
Uh, the only thing you need to do is put it in Vegas every year and put an absorbent amount of money on the line to the team that wins. Boom. These men are not so rich that they will not play hard for money. Period. They will always play for money. Put a large sum on the line for the winner of the game for all the players on the winning team, and it's done. It is not coming out of our pockets like the NBA. They can take it from whatever the advertising dollars or whatever they do. Put a separate fee or whatever. Whatever. Yeah, I don't care. I don't just. If I am as a fan, I just want to see good basketball.
So let me ask,
Especially when you got all the guys, the best guys out there. I want to see the best guys on the court play the best they can. That's
let,
simple. Like
let me ask you
it sucks
this.
that we have to do that, but let's do
Let
it.
me ask you this. You're talking about the All Star game. I mean, would you rather a really dope, really competitive All Star game, or do you want to see competitive games all season?
I mean, are the two things connected? Like, if we play hard at the All Star game, is our season not gonna? Are we not gonna have Like,
No,
what could be the impact? Like,
all I'm saying is that you for the All Star game, you said throw a bunch of money at them, and oh, okay, but like at
yeah,
some point, there's got to be some sort of intrinsic motivation to do something. Like
yeah, to just
LeBron,
play
like
hard.
what's LeBron like? What's an exorbitant amount of money? Are you going to give them $10 million, like each player
I
$10 million?
don't
That's
know.
crazy. And then
That's crazy.
you're
I
gonna
mean,
get a
they would
LeBron, you're
go.
gonna get a Steph Curry. Like they don't need
These
ten
guys will
million
go hard for
dollars.
100K each. They don't care. Like they will go hard for 100K each. They just don't want to do it for free. Like I don't know. Whatever. I just think money is the best motivator in this particular instance because what else can you give a man who can get everything on his own? You're bringing him out. Like that's another thing. Like last year, where was it? Indianapolis.
Hmm.
Come on, man.
Yeah,
These dudes on. It's Indianapolis in February. What the hell do they want to go there for? They don't want to go there. Do it in
Yeah, but that
Vegas.
has nothing
It's
to
the
do with
only place that
playing.
doesn't
That has
have.
nothing to do with the actual game. Like,
Yes, it does. Yes, it does. They don't even want to be there in the first
bro, it
place.
used to be in bad cities all
That's
the
what I'm
time
saying.
in the past, and these dudes play basketball. Like,
Josh Hart said even if he made the All Star game, he wouldn't even
why
go.
is he?
Like
Why
if
is he going to?
he
and
Why is?
that's part of the issue.
But like, bench players
that's what I'm
talk
saying.
about
Like
status and
nobody, the
game.
players don't take it serious. They don't care. But if there was, that's what I'm saying. If there's if motivation to play the game is the issue, then what's the greatest motivator? You got to give them money.
That's corny,
Like
bro.
I guess that's what they're
That's
saying.
corny.
That's the
No,
quiet part loud from
That's
the players.
corny. That's corny because like,
I'm not saying it's not corny. I'm saying
bro,
that's what
just
it
play.
is.
Y'all basketball players. You get paid to play basketball, bro. Play basketball competitive.
I wish it were that
And what
easy.
Johnell said about would you rather have a whole season of competitive games rather than one? I think they are kind of connected because a lot of guys don't go hard in the All Star game because they don't want to get hurt, right? So it's like, well,
Yeah,
you don't want to have an intense or real competitive All Star game because you're worried about it might cost you games in the regular season when y'all one already load managing at the highest level, right? And two, you get like you just
true.
get paid to play basketball. Like, bro, we're really talking about. Think about what we're talking about right now. We're complaining about 40, $50 million a year guys not playing basketball when that's what they're paid to do. Like, bro, like Obama said in that interview, just have some pride, bro. We're not telling you to be diving on the
Yeah,
floor into the crowd, but just actually play. It's like a pickup game. Play a pickup game.
yeah,
Don't you want to
yeah.
win?
They play games harder at UCLA in the summertime than they
Like,
play,
Yeah.
on TV, and that's the
like
issue.
we
So
need to pay
look,
y'all
that's
more
what I'm
money
saying.
to do. You make 50 like Steph Curry makes 50 something million a year. Freaking, this guy is making six. I need to pay you more
For the
money.
Golden State Warriors, for a contractually bind into the Golden State Warriors, not to the Western Conference
But
All
that's
Stars.
part of why they pay
So
you to
that
represent
yeah,
the Warriors.
his mind as a his mind as a what do they call it? A sole proprietor. His body like his body is he's that's
That's
what he is.
ridiculous,
His
bro.
body is his business.
That's ridiculous.
His body is his business. So he's trying to protect it. I get it. So every
So
time he
again,
goes out to play basketball,
but
like, yeah, there's
but guys,
training to get
but
ready
that's
for
what
the season.
but that's what
And
Sean
then
is
there's
saying.
this.
That's what Sean is saying. If the concern, or part of what he's saying, if the issue is I'm going to get hurt, then eliminate the game.
Period.
But if you can't,
Not, yeah,
you can't.
I'm fine with that.
But then you can't say, oh, I'm afraid I'm going to get hurt. But if you're going to give me $500,000, I'll
Then
play.
I'll get hurt. Okay.
Because what if you play, you get hurt,
Yeah.
and then like so you can't have it both
Now I got
ways.
$500,000 more. At least I made bread today.
This
I
is
ain't get hurt for nothing. That's what they're thinking. Is it crazy?
Yo,
Is it crazy?
yes, it's dumb. It's
I don't
crazy
think
and it's
so.
lazy. Like it's not. These dudes just need,
Uh,
bro. And the
it's not a
one part is,
practice.
bro,
It's not a preseason game. It's an exhibition game against other players. Like I
it's
understand it.
always
So
been
like if
that,
you
Cat.
want me to go, if you want me to play an exhibition game, like it's a game that matters, then give me money and
Cash,
make it
it's
matter.
always been
That's what
that.
they're saying. I'm not saying I agree with it. I'm just saying that's them saying the quiet part loud is what I'm
Explain that
telling you.
logic to me.
That's what they're
Explain the
saying.
logic. Where
That's the
when did no?
logic.
When did that
They're
change? When
the
did it change from this exhibition game now becomes a lease?
Bro, you just said it. When the niggas started making $15 million a year. That's what I'm saying.
I don't.
Like, that's when it
I
changed.
don't think so, bro. Because Kobe was the highest
That's
paid
when it
player in the
changed.
league, still blocking LeBron down the court. Like this is not something that changed 20 years ago. This is recent. When did this shift happen where guys have no pride anymore? Like, and they all want to talk about
Maybe
Mamba
it,
forever. Like that stuff's annoying. I'm not watching it this year. If it's the same thing,
I
I'm not
think guys
watching
just
it.
might be spooked about the
I
injuries.
refuse to
That's
watch it.
I'm
it.
I'm
not
not.
watching it.
That's
If it's the same garbage,
Yeah. I'm not watching this year either. Like, I know they're not gonna go hard. I know we're gonna get a couple crazy alley oops, some fast break dunks where nobody chases down nothing. Like, I would like to see a chase down block in the All Star game, but no one's gonna risk that for free. You know, I understand it. They're not gonna risk going up there and coming down and blowing their knee out, and that's it. Like their sound. I understand where they're coming from. I hate it, but I understand where they're coming from. That's all I'm saying.
So what
Like
if
they don't want to miss the rest of the
and
season.
and we'll move on from this, but every off season you see those runs with who Chris Brickley up in New York or at
Yeah,
UCLA,
yeah,
like you said, and these
yeah.
dudes they're
That's
they're
like the
playing.
All Star games too.
So
Are they?
they're not getting paid for that. Quite
There's no
literally.
help defense in those gyms. The walls are on the out of bounds line. Like they're not
But what
really going hard. It looks
but what
crazy.
I'm saying
They're just
but
trying to
what
get a
I'm
sweat.
no, but what I'm saying is those are reps playing basketball in which they can get hurt. In a
Yeah, for
game, in a
sure,
pickup game, in something that doesn't matter.
for
The
sure.
NBA in the NBA All-Star game, you have think about how much those tickets are to go to the game,
Yeah,
and
I
you
agree.
play hard and you play harder over the summer than you're playing in this game with the best players in the world. Man, get out of here. I like at that point I
Yeah,
don't want to hear
it's
about
sad.
money. If I'm paying, if it's me and my kid and I drop $1,200 to go to this game and you're not going to play, nah, we're not talking about
I
you
never
getting
bring
more
my son
money.
to an All Star game ever. I love my son too much to bring him to an NBA All Star game and waste my money, his time. We have this precious time on this earth. I wouldn't bring them because I know they're not gonna care. They
And
don't
you
care.
you accept it. Apparently you love that they don't
I have
care.
accepted it a long time ago. I said that because I know the answer. I feel like if they got handsomely rewarded, if there was a winner take all cash prize, they get hyped about card games on the plane, bro. Like
there
for
is incentive.
$10,000, it doesn't matter how much they
There's a
make.
bonus.
Just like money is a great
There
motivator.
is a bonus.
Money is it's the greatest motivator. Money will get you off your behind and into anywhere, anybody. It will, for a lot of people, it will, and that's what I'm saying. It just gives you that extra little push. I'm not
No,
saying
but
that they
listen,
don't make too much money. I'm just saying that if you're looking for an answer, because that's where we started. If you're looking for an answer to raise the competition, that is the way to do it.
I was saying I'm pretty sure there's a bonus for the winner of All Star. Every league has a bonus. It might not be $10 million, but they pretty sure like 50K or something like that. Every guy,
Oh yeah,
I'm almost positive.
that just in that case they just kill the game.
Right,
Just
right.
kill the game. If they're already getting paid, then kill it. Yeah, it's over.
um, yeah. So with it being Thanksgiving Eve, Thanksgiving, I wanted to tap into a little bit um, teams. Like every team in the league and across all sports, they've got that like most valuable player. Like it might not be the best player on the team, but it's somebody that that team is thankful that they have.
Hmm.
I've got a few teams laid out for the both of y'all. I'll give them to you one at a time, and I want you to let me know who on that team they are most thankful for. Cash, I'm gonna start with you.
All right.
The Philadelphia 76ers. Who's the player they
Jared
are most?
McCain.
Yeah.
Jared McCain. He is the only good thing that has happened to that roster in months. And since the end of their last season. He is he brings positivity to them with the TikToking and all that.
Yeah.
His TikToks are so good that it's taking the attention off of how bad that basketball team has been playing this season. So Jared McCain, I'm saying that emphatically. Listen, when they get him and Maxie back, and they can see how that works. Him coming off the bench and everything like Nick Nurse has his work cut out for him if he really wants to bring them back into this thing. He's gonna have to change the way that he thought that was gonna work. He has to put the people on the court that are producing, and I think that it's gonna be hard decisions, but he's gonna have to do that because this kid. He needs to be getting up in that 30-minute range now. Like, he needs to be playing 30, 34 minutes a game. He's giving them energy. He's giving them activity. He's giving them buckets. He's like a guaranteed 15 points all of a sudden. He's the best thing about them this year, especially with Embiid and Paul George in and out of the lineup all through the first, 19, 20 games.
I like that answer a lot. Sean,
There's no
the
debate.
Denver Nuggets. Denver Nuggets for you.
The Denver Nuggets. I'm looking at their roster right now. Outside of the obvious, Nikola
Yeah.
Jokic, which is like
That's too easy. He's going to want to take the
it's
easier
too
way out. I
easy.
respect it.
I'm going to say, ooh, Denver Nuggets. This is a good one. Um, Jokic does so freaking much that you can't.
Ben, I say Jamal Murray
No,
because he is
I know
doo-doo
who it is.
pie right
It's
now.
it's it's Christian Brown. That kid is
Yeah.
I like that.
he is fantastic. Like
Big step.
he's
Big
actually
step this
like
year.
we knew he was a winner coming out of Kansas because he had just come off winning a natty and then he wins a chip in his first year
Ah,
in his first year with the Nuggets. The kid has gotten better literally every year from year one to year two to now year
yeah.
three, where they were comfortable letting KCP walk because of this kid. And now
Yes.
he stepped into
Yeah.
this role. He's shooting better from
Big
deep.
step.
He's playing great defense. He's rebounding. I think the most underrated part about his game is how like just the energy and the rebounding effort that he puts on the floor. This kid's always on 100, bro. Nobody gets, especially when they play the Lakers. Oh my God, nobody gets more offensive rebounds than Christian Brown on just hustling, my G. So like he
Yeah.
does all the little dirty things that KCP did and then some because he got more size than KCP to be able to guard more positions on the floor. So Christian Brown,
For
while
sure.
Jamal Murray has been an absolute, I don't even want to violate. He's been
Yeah.
awful. Jamal Murray's
Mm.
been awful.
He's been
Mm-mm.
terrible.
Yeah.
He's been a
Lost, but
Just
ghost.
say it.
he's got the
Just say
bagging stuff to
it.
him
Just
too.
say it. I saw it firsthand the other night against the Knicks. I was like, what is he
He's got the
doing?
bag.
Even Mike Green said on the broadcast a couple times, like, oh,
Yeah,
Murray just really
yeah,
struggling. Like, he's just like,
yeah.
he's having a hard time this year. I
He
don't
helped him
know.
get a
I
ring.
don't know
They
what
paid
happened to
him.
him.
It is what it is. But that contract in 2 years is going to look. It's already looking bad, but it's not going to look.
No, when the CBA is about to hit
Yeah,
again, they're gonna raise up. It'll make more sense then. But right now is when it looks bad because like you paid him, expecting him
yeah,
to stay on that
yeah,
level, and he has not been
yeah.
there. Like I don't know what happened to
Yeah.
him.
So Christian Brown, that white boy, is going crazy. I think he's definitely the one they should be
Crazy,
most thankful for.
I like that. I like
exciting
that.
white, an exciting white, as Pat McAfee would say.
An exciting white.
He's hilarious. I love him.
Cash, I'm gonna jump back over to you. The
Okay.
Orlando Magic. Who are they the most
Oh,
thankful for?
Franz, Franz Wagner. Yo, you
Yo,
know, John, I feel vindicated right now. I'm
yo,
telling you.
I'll be the
Remember we
first to
talked
admit.
about when he first got,
I'll be the first to admit.
when we talked about it.
I thought Orlando was gonna be
Yeah,
in the basement, and Franz has been
yeah.
going nuts.
The only way I said the only way that they stay in this is if he elevated his game, and he has really taken his game to another level. I think he's got 20 or more in like 11 out of the last 12 games or something like that. He has been phenomenal for them. I brought up it last week, and I'll bring it up again. Jalen Suggs giving them good minutes.
Yep.
He's like their do everything kind of like Christian Brown. He's similar to that type of player for them. And I just really love what the Orlando's putting together. When Paolo comes back, if he continues to play this way, that is terrifying to me. And I don't want to be a part of that in their way. I'm going to
Point
Knicks
of view.
Magic on Tuesday. This is the NBA Cup game. Next Tuesday, NBA Cup game, December 3rd. That 3rd, I'll be there. Uh, I'm worried about Franz. I'm worried about Franz. And I honestly, Orlando, they are very thankful for him. That's the answer. He's the only answer.
Sean, I'm gonna give you a tough one. I need you to go across town and tell us who the LA Clippers are thankful for on that abysmal team.
There is a right
This
answer
is
here. There is a
this
right
is
answer.
actually very easy. But to not make it
Yeah.
obvious, I was gonna say James Harden because he's holding it down while
Nope.
Kawhi's out. He's
There's
actually been
another
very
one.
good. But I'm gonna go with Norman Powell. Norman Powell is
Thank you.
playing like he
Yes.
could be an all-star this year. Like he's averaging 23
Yo,
point like
cooking.
He's
like
been crazy.
insane. Like
Yeah. James Harden was the easy answer.
yeah,
Yeah.
James Harden was the
as the
easy
leader
answer.
of the
But
team,
Powell has been, yeah,
unbelievable.
he's doing Kawhi numbers.
Literally, and he's playing both ways.
Yeah.
He's knocking down the three.
Yeah.
He's always been a good 3-point shooter. He's just like seamlessly stepped into that Paul George or Kawhi
Yeah.
role, whichever one you want to be. More Paul George because of where he plays on the wing and how he shoots, volume of 3-pointers. And he's just been fun. I mean, averaging 24 points a game. Who would have thought Norman Powell, when he was in Toronto 4 years ago, would be this kind of player? Like we knew he was a solid
No.
rotation player.
Didn't
He wasn't even
didn't
starting
think of
most
him
of
like that.
last
Yeah.
season before injury started to
Yeah.
trickle in. So Norman Powell has
I think that's why they were comfortable letting go of Paul George.
right, and now they're a top 4 seed, top
Yeah.
4 or 5 seed in the Western Conference without their best player. So Norman Powell is definitely the guy that I would say they're most thankful for in LA.
That man was happy to see PG go.
Facts.
Yeah. He's like, go ahead,
He's gonna
man.
get paid.
I'm
He's
doing
due.
I'm doing numbers.
He's doing
He
contract.
was getting big minutes last year anyway, because Paul George, like the last 6 or 7
Right.
years, has just been in and out of every lineup that he's been a
Right.
part of. He's been on what, 3 different teams in the last 6 years, and he's been in and out of lineups the entire time. Like, so it is. Just I want to talk about this because just real quick splash, real quick. That SGA trade looks so terrible right now.
It
That
really does.
look at who all those picks were. Look at all those picks. And you gave SGA with it, who's probably your MVP this year. That's who the MVP is right now. So, yo,
I
I'm
can't think of
sorry.
a worse trade in
That was
NBA.
so
I can't
bad.
think of a worse trade
I
in the
can't
last
recall.
25 years.
They,
Like in
me
retrospect.
neither.
Me either.
I can't.
In retrospect.
I can't. It was like 6 picks or something like that
Yeah.
in SGA.
Six
Stupid.
first
So you
round
gave up
picks,
like a
not 6
future
picks.
MVP,
6 first
first
round
rounds, and they became like
picks.
Jalen
Williams, yep.
Williams, Isaiah Joe, Josh Giddey. Like they became all these
And
guys.
Josh Giddey became
They
Alex
just flipped
Caruso.
Josh Giddey for Caruso
Yep.
back,
Yep.
and now like it's crazy. Sam Presti, hell of a job, brother. Hell of a job. He's good. He is the executive of the year every year for what he's done with that roster, the turnaround. Because they thought after KD left, it was over in OKC. He said, hold on, let me hang on to Russ for a little bit. Then I'm going to flip him. We'll get Chris Paul. Make sure that he could just guide SGA through this thing. Let him walk. And then SGA is going to take us. He had a whole plan. He had a whole plan.
I got one more for you, Cash.
All right.
The New York Knicks. Who are they most thankful for tomorrow as they sit at the Thanksgiving table?
OG Anunoby. He has been the most consistent player for the Knicks all season. All season. Both sides of the ball. He defends. He scores at an efficient rate. It doesn't matter if it's 14. His 14 are so valuable. His 40 was so valuable the other night. His 26 could be valuable. His 8 points could be valuable. What everything he does is a winning basketball play. Every single possession that he's a part of. If you look at his plus minus, he's got like a record plus minus in the number of games that have been played this year. A record for the Knicks. He's like plus like 400. It's unbelievable how far he's up right now. He's just been incredible. I didn't think he had it in him offensively what he's shown this year. The way he got 40. Did you guys see the highlights?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The way he got 40, I didn't. I thought, okay, OG's just backdoor cutting. OG's just like catch and shoot threes. He got hot. Nah, he's putting that thing on the floor. He's shooting off the dribble. He's stepping back. He's doing, he's posting people up. He's doing everything. So, look, man, he has evolved as a player. He is worth that money. I think the Knicks are very happy about what they're getting out of him. And the team, the record speaks for itself. When he's on the court, since we traded for him December 30th of last year, they are a very, very good winning basketball team as long as he's on the court healthy. So I think they're very thankful for him that he didn't go to Philly because could have looked different. Could have looked different. But, yeah, man, OG Anunoby, of course Towns, of course Brunson, of course everybody. But, yeah, right now, Brunson has been up and down this year. Like, I mean, even his numbers don't reflect the way that his season looked. Like, he'll have a good game, and then it's like, oh, free throw to hit it, we take a lead, he's missed it. Three, they're in and out. Like, those are shots he was hitting last year. I'm not saying he's having a bad year, but it's not he's not back at where he was when he left off at the end of last season. So OG is at another level. He's even better than the last time he was on the court for the Knicks. So yeah, man, OG Anunoby, most grateful. At least me as a Knicks fan.
Okay. And Sean, it's only right we end with the Lakers. Who are the Lakers most thankful for?
There's a right answer here too.
I'm not very happy with those dudes right now, man.
Yo, hold on, real quick before you start. Who's more like irrationally irrational about their team than me or Sean? Is he worse with the Lakers or am I worse with the Knicks? He's like the Lakers suck. They're in fourth place.
So, so I would say the most. I don't think either one of you are irrational. I
Okay.
do think Sean will take it to the extreme sometimes, where he'll see one game, and it might be like legitimately a bad game. Like they'll go in there and they'll win, like they'll beat the Pelicans, but it won't be convincing. And he'll be on Twitter like, "Yo, like forget these dudes, man. Like they're doing this, that, and the third. Like LeBron can't do this. Get D'Angelo Russell off my team. Blah blah blah."
He got something for everybody. He got something for everybody.
A few nights later, they'll come out and they'll play Boston tough, and he's back on the train.
Yeah.
I'm like, bro, like
Ruben should be an all-star.
But nah, I
Ruben
don't
should be
think,
an all-star. There's not a better role player than Austin Reeves. Like it's some crazy stuff.
I don't think either one of you guys are irrational, but I just think Sean will take it to the extreme sometimes. Where I'm like, bro, just like let it breathe a little bit.
Listen, I'm just here to tell you, there's only one thing that you need to win. You gotta have heart. My favorite player in the NBA, Josh Hart. You gotta have heart to win. That's what it is. He's my favorite player. Yes, Jalen, you're always gonna be my son. I love you. But Josh Hart, he's my favorite player. He's my favorite player, maybe ever, because he just works incredibly hard.
Like you see, this is the irrationality we're talking about. Oh
Now you're right.
I love Josh Hart. I love Josh Hart. He's my favorite player. You gotta have heart.
To answer your question, Kat, before I answer Johnell's, I think my irrationality is different from yours because I root for a franchise that has an expectation of winning. We've won a lot. I'm used to that.
Okay,
No shame.
okay, kill me then. Jeez. Yeah, what? What? I didn't even. What?
Like I've seen a lot of.
We win
I've
sometimes.
seen a lot of championships, and I expect that when we have two top 10 arguing players in the league. Y'all are just loud because y'all think this is what it should happen, even though there's no evidence that it's ever happened or will happen. So I respect
Listen,
your
we've
irrational,
tried hard.
right? Um,
We had Melo and Starberry at one time, and Jamal Crawford. That's a championship team.
no,
Eddie Curry
no,
blew. They messed
no,
it up. It's all Eddie Curry's fault. Zach Randolph was a championship player when we had him.
no. You didn't. Um,
You've never seen a better power forward than David Lee.
This guy, man.
so the obvious
Go
answer
ahead,
is Anthony
Sean.
Davis. Obviously, he's playing phenomenal this year. He's playing at.
Yeah,
I said this on Twitter. This is the best version of him I've seen since like his early Pelican days, and I think this is even better
absolutely.
because of the
Even
efficiency
better.
of shooting a three this year. But I don't want to do the obvious answer. I'm going to go with Dalton Connect. Um, Dalton Connect. I cannot believe execs didn't think this kid, should be drafted now because of his age, him being 23 years old. Um,
Runner up National Player of the
like
Year.
he's bucket in college. He's 6'10".
Yeah,
Like he's got all the intangibles. He could shoot. He can drive. He's athletic. Like this kid has bounce. He's not just a
yeah,
3-point shooter, white
Yes.
dude
yeah.
outside.
And yeah, he had been in college for a while. Like he's like a grown, full,
Right. He was
like
in JUCO, which
developed
is why
player.
teams pass on him.
He's in a
So
program.
the
Yeah,
Lakers was able to get him. But the reason why I'm grateful for him is not just because he's played well. It's because where I think there's going to be a lot of movements within the next couple of months, trade deadline and beyond. And I think
mm,
Connect is going to be one of those guys after the storm settles when, Rui might get traded, some D'Lo package. He's going to be the guy in that starting lineup as our starting three, which he was when Rui was out and the offense was clicking on all cylinders. He needs to be starting
Yep.
again. He needs to be starting again without question because we don't have enough
yeah,
shooting to sustain not having a guy that
yeah. Ken Reddish is very
no,
inconsistent with
please
his
don't talk
shot.
about Cam Reddish ever again. Like
No, we have to.
is.
We have to now. Now we're there.
I'm
Is
not.
he in their trade
I'm not
package? And
kidding.
who is the trade part? Who's the
He
target?
is.
Who's the target? You just mentioned the trade. Who do you think is the
Zach
trade target?
Levine.
And is Cam Reddish in it?
Zach
Okay.
Levine. I think this is gonna be. I think this is a likely scenario. Zach Levine and
Okay.
Vucevic in a package for Cam Reddish. D'Lo, Rui's gonna have to be in. He's got to be in that package to make it all work. Because Chicago
Yeah.
has
D'Lo for the
and a first
money.
round pick.
Yeah.
Or the Trey Young
Okay.
route. The Trey Young route, I'm more hesitant about.
Okay. I was gonna ask about that
Yeah, I'm
next.
more
Yeah.
hesitant about that because I don't want to give up size for a smaller guard, even though that smaller guard is great.
Yeah.
I want to get at least
Yeah.
some kind of, give me throw Clint
And that's
Capella.
gonna cost you way
Yeah,
more.
we need
Way
more than that.
more.
We need more than that. So
Yeah.
I would much
Not just the players are gonna do
right,
it. You need assets for
right,
that one.
exactly. And again,
The Bulls honestly I think just want
the
to get
Bulls are
Zach
trying to get
Levine's
him out of
money off
there.
their books.
That's why I'm more intrigued by
Yeah.
that package. And again, you got AD. We know AD wants to play the four. You put a legit
Yeah.
center like Vucevic, who is a good
I
player. People
agree.
forget Vucevic is an all-star.
Yeah.
You put him next to
Yep.
AD,
Yeah.
let AD kind of play that four spot. Vucevic can give you buckets. He's a good rebounder. He's a good passer out the
Yeah.
post. Now you're talking, and now you got like two guys who can score the bucket, but also fill in your roster.
He matches with Zubac and all these
Exactly.
other. There's a lot of big bigs out
Exactly.
there. Hartenstein and these guys, are out there in OKC and Chet. Like, there's a lot of Wembayama. You need like a physical
Absolutely.
center now.
Absolutely.
You do need a physical center out there out west to kind of absorb these other guys. Like these unique players that are out there, in the West at the center
Right.
position.
So Don Connect, I think I love this kid. I think he's got
I
a lot
love
of
his game
potential.
so much.
A lot of potential in
Yeah.
him, and I think he's going to be a great Laker for a while. He's who I'm most grateful for right now. And also,
Connect
LeBron needs to
four.
get his life because LeBron's not playing good basketball. You
Connect
guys saw
four. Get the endorsement, Dalton. Get it now. Seize that endorsement. He should be on the box of every Connect Four box out there. It should be a
He's
special
to hire
edition.
Rich Paul.
Dalton Connect Four.
He needs to
Yeah,
hire Rich Paul because his agents. Please.
he needs to. Rich Paul would have this done already.
Exactly.
Rich Paul, he would have got drafted and held a Connect Four up there when he was on the tier taking a picture with Adam Silver. Rich Paul is the best in the business. He's unbelievable.
Sean, what
They
were you
tried to
saying
hate
about
on him.
LeBron?
LeBron's not playing well this year. It's not brutal, but
It's been up and down.
the turnover. I cannot take the turnovers, bro. He's turning the ball over so much, and for a team that is like, we don't blow anybody out. Every game is literally a fourth
Yeah.
quarter game.
Yeah,
Every possession.
every game's
You
close.
have to. The reason why it frustrates me more when he does it is because like you're supposed to be this basketball savant, and he's the way LeBron plays. Sometimes it's like nobody's on the floor. It's like he can just make these weird looking passes, like the other team won't try to take it. Like those are the turnovers that piss me off because it's like, bro, you're not even trying to make a good pass to avoid defenders. You're just acting like I'm LeBron James, and
Yeah.
they'll let me do it. So I think that needs to cut
Yeah.
down. He's up and down. Some games he'll take over like the Kings game and have a big outburst. And some games we're talking in the fourth quarter, is his double digit streak gonna end? Like people don't even realize, like, because again I'm watching all these games, like there's a lot of games where LeBron's
Yeah.
not cracking 10 points until the fourth quarter. Whether he's
Yeah.
being coached or
It's
not, he
crazy.
doesn't have enough juice to just not to coast through a game, 8 points and 9 assists. Like you need to score
Yeah.
efficiently.
I had a I had a parlay for LeBron. He was a late game. It was like a 10-10 start. Everything else hit. It was like 11 legs, right? I'm 10 legs in. All I need is LeBron for 15 points. Tell me why I had to stay up all night
Exactly.
to wait for this to
Exactly.
hit. And it would hit with a free
Yeah.
throw in the fourth quarter with like 2 minutes left. I was like, he's ended with
Yeah.
15 or 16 or something
Yeah.
like that. I was like, whoa. I was like, damn, we here now, so this might be really it. This really might be it. He might be human.
No,
He
he's
might
human.
be
He's
human.
definitely human. This season, he's been human. I'm tired of it, bro.
He's
I'm ready
human.
to move on
Yeah.
if this does change, bro. Like, go listen.
Dang, nah, chill. You
Dead
wow.
serious,
That's
bro.
see.
I'm a Laker
Oh
fan,
wow.
bro. Like,
I understand.
I'm ready to move on if it don't
He
change.
brought y'all. He brought y'all a championship. He brought y'all out of. Well, you were never irrelevant, but because they're the Lakers. But he brought y'all out of a very, very dark and ominous time in Lakers history. You had Jeannie and Jerry was suing each other or something like that crazy. Uh, all these other things was going on. The Lakers were they couldn't win.
I don't know what you're
You
doing. What are you
you had
doing?
to.
Like, what do you?
I'm just saying now. And then LeBron came in, and he fixed it. They won the championship in the
Okay.
bubble. That's
Uh-huh.
good. And then they've they've been good
He's been
since then.
good since then. He had nothing else to
So
say
yeah,
I was gonna be able to tie. Like,
they sell out. They sell
we don't
out.
want to be good here, bro. We want to win championships here, bro. Like this ain't about being good. Like
Price,
we
this
got
is
Denver.
this is
We
what he was
lost
saying.
14.
This is what he was saying about you, Price.
Dog, we haven't beat
It's
Denver
been
in the
good.
regular season in like 4 years. This is like at this
Yeah,
point, it's like, where's your pride? Start brawling or something. Like,
yeah. That is
at
crazy.
some point, just swing on it. Like it's in like I couldn't lose to a team that much.
For context, the Knicks have beat Denver and Denver twice in the last 2 years.
And they're coming into our house. They start slow. They're like, oh, we're good. We're good. Michael
Yeah,
Porter Jr., we're good. Everybody, like Michael Porter Jr.
yeah.
is Ray Allen against the Lakers, bro. He is
That's where he
trash
gets
against
hot. He gets
everyone
hot
else.
again. He gets hot in
Against
LA.
everyone
It's
else, he's
crazy.
trash. Against the Lakers, that man is peak Ray Allen,
Yeah,
bro. I'm like,
he was like 1 for 11 the other night. It was ugly. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to get you
it's
fired
all
I
up.
good.
got you. That's fine. All right, man. We're about
Hey
to get
now,
out
hey
of here.
now. Uh,
We'll
hey now,
wrap it
say
up
now.
really quickly. Um, Thanksgiving. I need to know before we get out of here. What's the first thing you're attacking on your plate on Thanksgiving?
Okay.
I know Sean's not going to eat until like 8 o'clock. So
Don't
I
play
mean,
with
you're going to
me.
have time to think about it. last year, last year, my guy was
He was like,
starving
what?
all
You ain't
day.
eat yet? He was like, wait, you still ain't eat?
Sean, I'm
I'm
gonna
on my
start with
third
you.
plate.
I'm gonna start with you. What's the first thing you're touching on your plate?
Me?
Yeah.
Oh, mac and cheese, 1,000%. It's the actually it's mac and cheese rice because it's I like I don't know about
Oh,
y'all. A lot of folk be talking about they don't like their food touching. I like my joint all over the place. I don't like the food.
My
everything
joint got to
mad.
be mixed
Yeah,
in.
Yeah, I don't need separated,
yeah.
sections. If the plate got separated sections, I don't want it. I need it to be touching, all that stuff. So it's definitely that mac and cheese with a little bit of rice still sprinkled on the side of it. One thousand
Okay.
percent. That's the first thing I put
Okay.
every time. Mac and cheese on
So,
Thanksgiving, big mac and
so
cheese.
for me, listen.
Not that
Also,
Kraft
yeah.
Dinks,
Also the mac
not
and
the Kraft
cheese.
cheese. I'm talking about
Nah,
the
Huh?
not
baked
crap.
joint. Yeah, yeah.
Ew. What?
Yeah.
What?
I'm just saying,
What?
beloved.
What? What? Kraft? Who is that? You talking about Robert? Ah, get out of here. Listen, Tucker
Right,
Kraft from the
right, right,
Packers? Oh, nah, nah, we're not, no. Oh, no, no. So yes, obviously the mac and cheese. I feel like, yo, I had a crazy conversation with a person. I'm not gonna say if it's, I'm not gonna tell this person's
You
ethnicity,
already just did.
but
You
I
just did.
said,
Yeah, you sure did. No,
but they said that macaroni and cheese is not a staple of Thanksgiving, and I said,
I had a
huh?
similar conversation today.
Yeah, that bothered me. But yeah, so after the macaroni and cheese for me in my house and without my family, it's that stuffing, dog. That stuffing. You got to cut a square. You got to put your joint to the side. Everything, it goes so fast. Everybody loves it. My mom puts bacon bits in there. It's legendary. The macaroni and cheese stuffing is legendary stuff. Like legendary. Like I was telling you, and there's no leftovers. Like the stuff you go after first is the one that is not gonna be left over. Mac and cheese, like
Right.
she's gonna make like two of them, and then one for my niece, like her own that we can't touch. So you gotta get after it. You gotta get after it fast because it's gonna go. And then you got my brother. You know what I'm saying? He always get like the biggest piece. Like he cut like halfway through the Pyrex. Like
Nah, you
literally,
got
what are you doing?
you got to put hands
Everybody
on
else
him. What
gotta
is he
eat. Like
doing?
that's what I'm saying. Like everybody else gotta eat. Like why you taking like 3/8 of the whole thing? Like that's crazy. So I mean, yeah, I know that's a weird fraction, but yeah, yeah. I'm saying it's like he took like the whole joint. He took 3/8 of it. It's like, oh, come on, that's that's too much. We can't do that. So yeah, definitely the mac and cheese. Uh, I gotta find out more about the menu for tomorrow. But sometimes we be having oxtail, Caribbean family. So if there is oxtail on the menu, I will stab with forks to get to that.
Yeah.
I will.
Yo,
No knives, just forks. You get your hand hit. Watch out.
so
Just watch out.
I gotta
Try to
hit
get
both
show.
families. I gotta hit both families.
Okay.
My mom, my stepdad, and then my dad's. It's always I don't even like turkey or ham or anything like that. Like I'm definitely more of a sides person in general.
Hmm.
But
Yeah.
mac and cheese, first and foremost, both locations. Like Sean said, you gotta have them mixed up. They gotta be touching. You throw some
Yeah.
stuffing in there. You mix like, bro.
Put
Like
some gravy
I
on
just need
there. Yeah, put
sides.
some gravy on
Some
there.
gravy. I just need sides. Give me the sides, and I'm
Yeah.
good. I'm good. Maybe a little roll.
Yo,
I
here's what
mean,
I do. Here's what I do.
obviously the
It's
greens and stuff
crazy.
like that, but the mac and cheese, that's first
I'm
and
so
foremost.
ready. We're gonna start fasting tonight. Okay. So like when I wake up tomorrow, it's nothing but a Gator light. Like we need electrolytes. That's it. And then I'm gonna ride until like 5 o'clock. Like this isn't intermittent fasting. This is long fasting. So that when it's time to eat, we're eating. But yeah,
Wait,
here's what I do. I always like
what time do you
I
eat
build from the
tomorrow?
outside in.
What time do
So
you
I
eat?
work tomorrow. I work at 3 o'clock or until 3 o'clock. So because it's 24/7, 365 security. My shift is 7 to 3. I'm over there, so I'll be there 7 to 3. But then I go pick up the cash in his mom. We go down to my brother's. We eating at 5 o'clock, 5:30 maybe latest. Like dinner time, typical dinner time. Black people, we be late getting everything ready. It could be anything. It could be anything. But this is what I do. I go from the outside in. You want to get a little, you want to get yourself a little stuffing. Obviously, I said first. So mac and cheese. Set that to one corner of your plate. Then you got to get a big scoop of mashed potato. Put it in the middle. Right in the middle of the plate. Okay? I'm talking big mashed potatoes. Then you take the turkey. You put the turkey on top of there. Then you put the gravy all on there with some greens, either collard greens, green beans, whatever. You put it all in there together, right? And then you got your plate. Oh, sweet potatoes or yams, whatever. However y'all do it, whatever you call them, make sure that's what you do. Man, everybody have a happy
You
Thanksgiving.
got it down to a
Everybody
science.
have a happy Thanksgiving.
Did
Yeah,
Kobe pull up on
that's how
us?
you build the plate right there. I'm about to say, what up, Cobb?
Y'all can you hear him?
Kobe pulled up?
Oh, he out of
Y'all
here.
heard him?
Yeah,
I thought I muted the mic.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
I was spitting too. No, we gotta put that. I can't wait to
I
cook this
thought I didn't mute
because
it.
that's what Thanksgiving is about.
I pressed
That's what
I
Thanksgiving is
pressed
about.
this and it didn't mute.
Oh
No,
no, we
it
still
just
here.
did now when you did it. Yeah, man. Build your plates correctly. Everybody, drink responsibly. If you do, enjoy all your food. Enjoy the family. The time is the time, man. We don't get this back, so make memories and enjoy whoever you're with when you guys are celebrating tomorrow, man. Happy Thanksgiving.
Yes,
That's
sir.
a great way to end it. Yes. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody. Sean, thank you for pulling up, man.
You already
I
know.
know I know you said
Yes.
in the group chat you were like, nah, the heat check got a little too friendly, so you had to come and
Shall we
shake things
soft?
up a little bit.
Yeah.
So appreciate you making some time. We'll have to have you back up here again.
Where did this guy has Hennessy and wine on?
Yo, I
Oh
I
yeah,
was
it's,
gonna mention it earlier. This dude
we're
double
blending. We're
fisted.
blending. We're blending.
Bro,
Yo, it's a long day.
you're gonna
Long day,
need
long
something
week.
to eat in the morning.
Yeah, maybe. Who knows? Electrolytes is all we need, man. We'll be all right. We'll be all right.
This guy.
It's one glass of wine and a little bit of Hennessy. Who can do that?
Whatever you say, Brody.
It's a little splash, a little squirt.
You are
It's a little
40,
squirt. This
bro.
is
You are
nothing.
about to be
I
hungover.
haven't even drank it. I didn't even drink it. I took one little sip. It's only one finger.
All right, my guys. Happy
Look, it's one
Thanksgiving.
finger. See? I usually do four fingers.
On that note, let's get out of here. Happy Thanksgiving.
Yes,
We will
sir.
be back with y'all next week. I am Johnell. I'm with my guy Matt Price, Cash Walking,
Yes, sir.
and Mr. Sean LC. Appreciate you, boys. We will be back with y'all next week.
Peekaboo.